In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to target US audience on TikTok when you're not living there. Currently, I live in the Netherlands in Europe, but as we can see when we check the analytics on my TikTok account, you can see that almost 100% of the reach is United States. Now, I set this up using the exact system that I'm about to show you. As you can see, it's quite long and quite detailed as I prepared right here. And before we start, there's quite a lot that can go wrong, so make sure to not skip any of the steps as it's very precise, and TikTok recently even made it hard to do this, so please again do not skip any part of the process. And really, TikTok is a bitch to get right. You need to do everything very precise and correct, or you get shadow banned instantly. And some methods that just don't work anymore are using free VPNs on your personal phone, or using TikTok on your browser, on your PC, even using a VPN, and not using a US SIM card. This will instantly turn into a shadow ban. As you can see, it will happen like this, 0 or 7 views, something like that, and that is not what we want. So we have to make sure we do this thoroughly and the correct way. Okay, so first let's go over to the requirements. So first of all, you need a new phone. Now this doesn't need to be a brand new phone, but it has to be one that you don't normally use. For me, this is my personal iPhone, an iPhone 15. And for the phone I use for TikTok to reach the US audience, I use this phone. It's an older phone of my sister. As you can see, it's not even that pretty. It's an iPhone 11 and I only use it for TikTok. Next up, we need a US dedicated IP VPN service. This basically means we get an IP address in the United States just for us. So it's not that other people use it as well, because that's one of the main reasons why TikTok flags VPNs. Then we need a US SIM card. We can get this very easily. I'll show you exactly how to do that later. And also preferably a new TikTok account that you register on your new phone. And we are going to register this without a phone number. But again, I'll show everything here step by step later. Just make sure to not skip anything. So first, once again, get a new phone, can be a used one, and then we want to reset that. So on your phone, first go to settings right here, then go to general, and then scroll down till you see transfer and reset iPhone. And then you want to erase all content and settings. If there are any photos on here or personal information, just make sure to back it up. But we have to reset this phone back to factory settings, and we are going to turn this phone into a US phone. So TikTok actually thinks this phone is in the US, right? So first factory reset it, then we get into the setup screen. The next up, step 2, is ordering a US SIM card, as inside your phone you need to have an American SIM card. Now this can be a travel SIM, that's what I used, and I simply bought this on Amazon. For this, I will leave a link down below as well. As you can see, it's literally $2. Maybe in your country you need to pay a little more for shipping, and it can be a travel SIM card. As you can see here, it's USA prepaid SIM card, and what's important to know is the SIM can be deactivated and doesn't need to be active. I have never used the SIM card actually. Don't use this phone number for anything. You don't need to use it for absolutely anything, especially not for creating your TikTok account. And my SIM card on this phone has been already in here for 2 years, disabled, and it still works. So make sure to just buy any US SIM card. It doesn't specifically need to be this one. Put it in your phone, and then you're good to go to step 3. With step 3 being going through the process of setting up your phone and selecting United States. So when you set up your phone for the first time, here are the main things that I want to show you that are important. Select English, United States, simply connect to your Wi-Fi, don't worry about that. And then when it asks transfer your apps and data, don't transfer anything. And here is where it gets important. Apple account. So here, don't sign in with your iCloud account, Apple account. Simply click forgot password or don't have an account, and then click on setup later in settings. Okay, that's very important. Don't sign up with an Apple account right here, especially not your own one. Also location services, don't turn this on. Click setup later. Now there are also going to be some other questions like iPhone passcode. Other things are not really related. Just set them up or hit skip. Then we're going to the part that I just talked about, the Apple ID. And for this, we can simply go and create this on our PC. So for this, you can simply go to account.apple.com and create a new one. And for this, you don't need the VPN or anything like that yet. Simply click this button and then go to the process right here. Come up with any name you want. Doesn't need to be you. Birthday. Give an email that you already have. I also linked the current email that I already use. Then for the phone number, you don't need a US phone number for this, just use a local one. I used my second phone number of the Netherlands here. It does not impact your reach on TikTok. You can use a local one here once again. And then from here, you want to hit continue and make your account. Now, as I've already done that, I will show you what I did. Simply, I created an account on my PC as I just said. Then right here is gonna ask you to sign in with your account, which I did right here. So I can go here and then I can click on payments and shipping. So let's do that. There we go. And then as you can see right here, I just filled in the US address, which is obviously not where I live. And that's where I connected my account, right? So that's what you fill in your phone. Just fill in any address on the US you can find online. You can use website for this right here. So you can see, we can simply use this one in order to make our US Apple ID. Okay, then going back to the sheet, as we can see, this is what we just did. We created our Apple ID and we logged into it on our phone. Then we need to make sure that location service is turned off. So simply we can type in location and then here we have location and then make sure this is turned off, really important. Also make sure that Bluetooth is turned off. So is it turned off for me? Actually not. So I need to make sure I turn it off again. Sometimes it turns on automatically, which is not what we want. And also cellular data, obviously turn this off as well. And then some additional settings is that we have to go to language and region, as TikTok can also see this information. Set your language to English, nothing else, it has to be English. Region United States, calendar Gregorian, then temperature Fahrenheit, measurement system US, then Sunday, the correct date format and the number format. This is how you set it up, because also TikTok will check this information if it matches up with a US phone, right? Then from here we go to one of the most important steps, and one of the steps where many people go absolutely wrong. We need a VPN, and we don't just need any random VPN. You need a static US IP address, like I explained at the beginning a little bit already. This one will be only used by you and will always be the same IP address. It's basically like you having a house with the same IP in the United States. Because the number one reason TikTok accounts get banned is because the IPs constantly change. Because when you have a VPN, you're constantly connecting to a different IP. And this gets flagged by TikTok. So as you can see right here, this is how it goes with normal or free VPNs. One time I connect, I get IP1, second time IP2, then 3, then 4, and all these IPs are also used by other people, which gets flagged. And basically what we need is one static IP, which basically acts as your house, right? We want to make sure that it looks like we are living in the US, one IP all the time, only used by you, right? So then obviously how to set up a static US IP address. So we need to use a service with a dedicated IP setup. And I personally use NordVPN for this for already 2 years without any issues. I used other ones as well. Surfshark actually got me problems. Constantly the IP got disabled, or I got connected to another IP and it was more expensive, so I recommend to use NordVPN. For NordVPN, I'll leave a link down below as well for a 70% discount, or you can simply type in nordvpn.com/hassle and hit enter. And through this link, you get an extra 4 months for using NordVPN, so you can simply click get the deal and then select your plan. And once you're on this page, it's really important that you add the dedicated IP service here as well, as that's the feature that we want. So we can simply click add right here, and then with the promo code hassle applied, you get a $320 discount on the basic plan and a $190 discount or 47% on the dedicated IP service. Then once you've set up your account, I will show you exactly how to set up your dedicated IP. So inside your account right here, inside NordVPN, you want to click dedicated IP right here. Then here we can set up our dedicated IP, and there are a few options we can choose. For example, Chicago, Dallas, Seattle, New York, also London or Frankfurt. But obviously don't choose these, we only want the US ones. So personally I chose Miami, but it really doesn't matter. Then we click setup dedicated IP, and then right here we got our dedicated IP address, location United States Miami, and our server. And with this server we need to continue. And we want to continue on our phone, because on our phone we want to install NordVPN through the App Store. So simply type in NordVPN right here and make sure it's installed. For me it's already installed, so I click open. And then you want to make sure you're signed in to your NordVPN account. Then scroll up and type in search, and as you can see for me that is #10297, which is the same as on my screen right here. So you simply want to type in yours right here, just like that, fill in the code, and then it will show up, and then you want to connect to that and click it. Then once you've done that, you're connected to your own dedicated IP address that's only used by you, only available for you, and this is the one you're gonna use all the time. You're never gonna turn this off. You're gonna leave this on all the time. Also, frequently check if it's still connected before, for example, opening apps like TikTok, because this is gonna be a huge game changer. As you can see, I show it here once again, connect to the hashtag code that you just created, and then you got your dedicated IP address. So again, make sure the static IP is always turned on, never remove the SIM card, and that's also why I recommend to do it on a new phone, because if it would be your personal phone, this is impossible, right? You're always on a VPN, you always need to have some useless SIM card in your phone. That's not practical. Now we're almost done. There are a few things we still need to do, and that is changing the time zone on your phone to the time zone with your static IP. So for me, got an IP address in Miami. So as you can see, for me, the location is also set to somewhere in Miami, and the time right now is set to 1:36 p.m. And as you can see on my PC screen, that's not the time. It's 6 hours behind because the time is actually set to Miami. You can easily do that by going back right here and then searching for time, just like that. And then scroll down till you see date and time, and just make sure that it's set not automatically, but set it to the time zone that you have. For me, again, Miami, USA. And then the next step is very simple. Download TikTok. Do the same as NordVPN. Go to the App Store and then simply type in TikTok. There we go. And then download it, right? Now again, I already downloaded it, so I'm gonna click open, and this is my account. So let me actually go back because I want to show you how it would look like when creating a new account. So actually I'm gonna say, sign up for TikTok, use phone or email. I'm gonna select just a date like that, continue, and now as we can see, what is the confirmation that it worked? We got +1 right here. So for me it says US +1 as my phone and TikTok thinks I'm in the United States. I also write it down right here. If it says +1 on account creation, it worked. Again, preferably create a new account. Once you create your account right here, don't select phone number, so don't give them the phone number you just made from the travel sim. And also don't use your own phone number, don't do that. You need to just sign up with email and nothing else. Also, don't post in the first 72 hours. And what you can do right now, I can do that on my current account. You want to actually see what the posts are like. So is this US based? So for me, as you can see, I get a lot of bullshit. So are the comments English or are they your local language? So for me, I'm only seeing English ones. If it didn't work, I would only see Dutch ones or mainly Dutch ones. As you can see, for me, everything seems pretty US based. There are no Dutch TikToks on here, which is again a good indicator that it worked. And now basically we've done it. You are there, you can now start posting after 72 hours, and the reach will be mainly US. Now there are some mistakes or some red flags that can trigger TikTok into thinking you're not from there, also some green flags. This is the last thing I'm going to make sure that you have success, okay? So changing IPs frequently, make sure you're always connected to your one static dedicated IP. Again, using IPs used by +1,000 users with VPNs, cheap VPNs or regular VPNs. Device used with prior foreign account, we don't have that because we reset our phone. Also, the device model not common in the US. With iPhones, you will not have that issue at all because basically all iPhones are common in the US. But if you have some Chinese phone or something like that, that could trigger abnormal time zones. Again, change it to the time zone of your IP. Using TikTok on your web, don't do that. It's not a question. You need to use it on the app. Posting too soon, foreign language comments on your US account, and commenting too fast or typing bot-like. These are all red flags. Some green flags. Basically the opposite, right? Consistent IP, a US SIM card, normal scroll behavior, posting content that relates with US audiences, right? That makes sense. Not linking any of your foreign accounts like Instagram or YouTube, not mass following or not following, and also do not post or comment anything in your local or native language, right? So again, this is quite a setup. It's not so easy. It's actually very precise and you need to do everything correctly. If you need any more help, please let me know all your questions in the comments down below. But if you did everything correctly, this should work and you should now reach US audience on TikTok. With that being said, have an amazing rest of your day and see you later. Bye.